What is up, my friends? Gary Gilgan, the Daily Crypto, here with another crypto day. Today is August 2nd, 2017. The market is doing very well. I've been seeing nothing but positive information in regards to the Bitcoin fork that happened yesterday. Just really good stuff. I mean, the market has taken it even better. For me, I guess, to start out with, everything that's happened with Bitcoin, every single year, Bitcoin has a challenge. It's faced with a challenge, a growing challenge every single year. And every single year, it's taken it with stride. Every single year, it's progressed even further. Every single year, it's just gained value. So it's just, for me, I'm just kind of making this video to talk to myself, my future self, let's call it, is that whenever there's any sort of news with regards to Bitcoin evolving and updating, it's always going to be good. It's always going to be good. So when you see that emotion that we had a few weeks ago where everything tanked, man, that's just an opportunity to buy, because it's going to rebound strong and it's going to move to the next level. Because here's the thing, if you had Bitcoin, out of Coinbase, out of these exchanges that don't support Bitcoin Cash, then you would have made cumulatively between both coins. So if you had 100, let's see if I can find a calculator. Okay, so if you had just give me 1 second, pulling up this calculator here. Okay, so if you had 100 Bitcoin times 2710, you'd have $271,000 cash value for your Bitcoin. Then after the fork, everybody got 1-to-1. So if you have 100 Bitcoin, you have 100 Bitcoin Cash. So 100 Bitcoin Cash times that by the current price right now, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon here in Boise, Idaho. Okay, so if you had 100 times that by the current price, 362, 36,200. So now if you take that 36,200 and you add the 271,000, you have 307,000 versus if you just had 100 Bitcoin right now, because Bitcoin really hasn't, it's been pretty dang stable for the past couple weeks, and especially since the Bitcoin fork, you have roughly, this is at an all-time high, and this morning it was even bigger, of a value of over $3,000, almost $3,100. So that's awesome stuff. And the entire market has responded quite positively. Quite positively. Look at this, NEM. Where did that come from? Just out of nowhere. 20%. I like NEM. I've made some good early positions in NEM. Veritasium up again. That one's doing really good. It's done really good. Starting to really make its way back up. Good stuff. Good stuff. So it's all about. So we'll see. I mean, as we progress further, because Bitcoin Cash has come down almost 50% since this morning. So we'll see what happens. That's all we can do, is just see what the market does, because a lot of people might be cashing out. I mean, I know I've tried to cash out some of my Bitcoin Cash. And I mean, right now it's brand new. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. The Dow Jones touches $22,000 as Apple. So yesterday, second quarter earnings came out. What's this? CNBC, Dow at 22K. Everyone watches market index, but no one invests in it. So the price of the stock is going up, but no one's investing in it. Makes sense to me. Average American does not have disposable income so that they can invest. And even in the upper echelons, you know, 6 figures plus, they're not investing in the stock market. There are so many better investments out there. So many more, much better, much bigger investments out there than these traditional markets. But one thing, last night, man, I read this article, probably one of the best articles that I have ever read. Why everyone missed the most mind-blowing feature of cryptocurrency. Man, this was just a great, great article talking about how money has been used to control people for thousands of years. For thousands of years, money, and this is what I say, money has been used to manipulate people, to control people for thousands of years, because money has been created or has been created in the past by these centralized organizations. That's what it talks about in the very beginning of this. And then it talks about the great thing about crypto is that it's decentralized. It's decentralized. It's not owned by, there's no Bitcoin building, there's no Bitcoin CEO or anything like that. There's just, it's decentralized. So it talks about the Hydra. It talks about cryptocurrencies being the Hydra because it's owned by everybody that is using the infrastructure. So it cannot be closed down. To me, it's just, it's almost like it's an organism that's connecting everybody at an even deeper level compared to even that of the internet. And so that's what it talks about is, you know, when you decentralize the money and you give the power back to the individual person, what is going to happen is the governments are going to be decentralized. This is only a matter of time. And it's because we are going out of this era of scarcity. Scarcity has been around for the past 2,000 years. Okay, and we are finally emerging out of the darkness and we are going into total, absolute, infinite abundance. The future is just so freaking exciting because of abundance, because of all these new advancements in technology, medical technology, 3D printing, virtual reality, cryptocurrency, the Internet of Things. All of these different technologies are creating more abundance for us so that we can just, because in this state of abundance, the byproducts of abundance is generosity, contribution, cooperation. Those types of values are the byproduct of abundance, whereas the values that are the byproduct of scarcity is hoarding, selfishness, competition, manipulation, corruption. Because when you believe that there's a finite amount of money or food or resources, okay, then you're going to take as many of the resources that you can get your hands on and you're going to hoard them. You're not going to want to share them. Whereas now, because of technologies, now we're coming into this age of abundance. And so this freaking article is just so incredible. I'll put a link to the article in the description of this video. But man, it was just absolutely incredible. So right here, the true power of cryptocurrencies is the power to print and distribute money without a central power, which is going to create total freedom for people. Talked about how Satoshi Nakamoto, which is just an alias, just an alibi, the actual person still hasn't been discovered. And man, that's just so exciting because I've actually been working on my own ICO, my own coin. And now that after I read this, it really made me think again, because the cryptocurrency I wanted to create was decentralizing identification, so that you actually own your identification rather than you being owned by the state. Because understand is that when you are born, or when you have a child born, that child becomes property of the government, property of the state. You literally sign your rights away of your child. A birth certificate, social security, those are documents of ownership saying that you are now a citizen of the United States of America. Okay, but total duress, total duress. And so what my idea was is to create a decentralized identification where you actually own your identification. Very powerful stuff. But after reading this, I just want to give that idea out. And I want to have someone anonymously create it. Because I'm telling you, that's what these technologies are all about, is decentralization, taking the power away from these corrupt governments that have just gotten out of hand and putting it back into the power of the people. That's what this is all about. So man, great article. You've got to check that article out. It is just absolutely phenomenal. And another, just today, you know, if true value of cryptocurrency is freedom, why do we need to regulate it? There's a great article too, talking about, you know, many people are getting into this space, but they don't understand the space. And just like how, you know, people fly on an airplane, that's what it talks about right here. Better explain, let's start all over. Like many technological advances before it, cryptocurrencies represent massive strides forward in social, economical, and technological advances for all of us. To be clear, this reflection shouldn't be taken from a technical standpoint. Very important phrase right there. To be clear, this reflection, okay, the use of these technologies shouldn't be taken, or the acceptance of shouldn't be taken from a technical standpoint. The technical debate around cryptocurrencies is long and in-depth and best reserved for another time. This review should be undertaken at a much more top level. Then it goes on to say, better explain, sticking with the aircraft analogy. Most of us don't know or care how the jet propulsion engine works. You don't know how a jet works. You don't really understand how a plane works. But you will hop on that plane, put your life at risk, potentially, with absolutely no understanding of how that jet engine works, how all the components of it work. You just believe or have faith that it's going to do its job. Most people don't know how the dollar works, but they're putting their faith in it because everybody else uses it. Everybody uses airplanes. Everybody has come to accept that technology. Same thing with cryptocurrencies. Okay, but just like any technology, there's going to be a learning curve. And part of that learning curve with money is going to be regulatory issues. Okay, I personally believe that the regulatory issues will be taken care of by the ecosystem itself. Everything will naturally and spontaneously unfold within this space. I think so. So the biggest thing that they talk about in this article is money laundering. But I like what it says right here, tackling money laundering. After all, the reality is that money will be laundered regardless of if it is digital or tangible in nature. It's illegal. Where there are laws, there are crimes. You can't have one without the other. No one can blame cryptocurrencies for that. However, looking at it from an objective level, security is one of the key reasons why a number of legislators refuse to give cryptocurrencies any form of domestic backing to operate as a legitimate currency in some jurisdictions. All because of that idea. It's a very, very interesting stuff going on. And I just see more and more that these governments are really starting to crack down. They're really starting to, it's going to be an all-out war. But I think it's going to be a war. Let's look at it like judo, like the martial art of judo. In judo, you are taught how to use the oncoming energy of your opponent to actually disable the opponent using their own energy. I think that's the war or the battle that we're about to see, is that these governments, these central governments, the United States of America, okay, right here, South Korean lawmaker seeks to tighten cryptocurrency rules, the SEC last week. So all of these different centralized governments that are clawing for power in their end dates, they're going to end up putting so much energy into this, into trying to regulate, trying to bring down cryptocurrencies, or I should say just regulate, so that they can collect more tax, more money, more fees for themselves. They're going to find, and that's what we really learned in this article right here with the Hydra, is that in decentralized system, there's no head of the state snake. Decentralized systems are a Hydra. Cut off one head and two more pop up to take its place. So decentralized exchanges are going to start popping up. More anonymity is going to start popping up, because as these centralized governments try to get their slimy little fingers into cryptocurrencies, the cryptocurrency is just going to continue to evolve faster than they can ever get their grips on it, until it just, everybody, until we go into the third phase, which is mass adoption. Then they're just going to keep trying, and it's just going to eventually, the masses, every dollar. Cryptocurrencies are the greatest wealth transfer of all time. It's taking place right now. And so there's going to be so much influx of money just rushing into cryptocurrencies like you've never seen before. We have not even seen the beginning of what is going to happen in cryptocurrency. So it's still such a phenomenal time to get in, such a phenomenal time to get into cryptocurrencies. And I really do. I believe that people are going to be cashing out their 401ks, mutual funds, IRAs, annuities, life insurance policies, because all of these things are going to come onto the blockchain. They're going to become decentralized. They're going to become privatized, where the person owns all of their own patents, their own identification, their own money, their own patents and ideas. I don't know if I just said that, but just, man, powerful stuff. Man, it's just super exciting. So if you haven't got in yet, you better be sure to get in, because we still have a lot of time. But man, I'm going to put a link to this article in the description below. This is a phenomenal article. Go check this out. Really understand at a philosophical level what cryptocurrencies represent, because this article right here changed my whole viewpoint and just got me pumped up, excited about cryptocurrencies and the futures of cryptocurrencies. So until next time, hope you guys have a great day. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Till then.